Welcome to the edition of Let's Play Farming Simulator 2013 on the American Farm. Alright, so we got a couple things lined up. Recording a little bit later today at 6:06 or 18:08, depending on who you're talking to. Let's do a little recap. So what's what? So let me just go into the field over here, or go to this view. So currently we have this field which is growing. I planted it as soybean, so it is currently planted and not ready to harvest yet, but it is currently planted. It did take a little bit of time for our new seeder to plant it, but not nearly as long as the Hacia, which was a really nice surprise actually. As you can see, there it is, all planted, not quite ready to grow though. However, we have something else lined up for today. So let's go hop over into our Massey Ferguson, which is way over here. Well, I just wanted to mention, I made a video the other day talking about how to remove wither wheels from tractors, and I hope some of you found it helpful. I actually did a little bit of sleuthing, you might want to call it, or something. Anyways, I searched around for it to see what I could find. And I was able to find out how to do it, so I thought I'd record a video for you guys in case you wanted to do it as well. The reason why I was looking into it was because I wanted to be able to remove the wither wheels from some of the tractors that I would like to buy. One of those being the new Holland that we have been talking about. Alright, so as you can see, I did a little bit of cutting already. I cut the grass here, as you can see. We mowed some hay. And it's going to let our guy finish up here, so let's just drop the auto swather there. PTO still attached, which is good. Let's just fire him up here. And he is, where are we here? I recorded a course already, and I'm just gonna let him do that. Just gonna let him finish off what he was doing, and then while he's doing that, we're gonna go ahead and sell a couple of bales of straw. Because right now we have I think we have like 44 bales of straw. I want to sell a couple of them because we don't need a whole lot of money in order to get the new tractor. I guess we could just borrow 5,000 or something. So right now we got 22 bales here, and we got almost 22 there. A bit less than 22. So we're going to sell a couple of those. Because the tractor we have been looking at is... where are we here? It is the New Holland T7 550, I think it is. T7 550, yeah. So it's got 196 horsepower on it. 64,000. So if we get this near 200 horsepower tractor, will allow us to do a couple other things. So it will allow us to get some bigger equipment, is what it boils down to. So for example, we could get into a bigger cultivator, which would be nice. Right now we can't use this bigger cultivator because we don't have enough power for it. So that's a 5.7 meter cultivator. There's this one also, which we could get, but it's not really that much bigger. This one doesn't really say a whole lot on it. This is a new John Deere I just downloaded today to test it out. It works fairly well. Theoretically, we could use it. Well, it says a requirement of 180 to 440. It's kind of a big. It's kind of a big range, but I guess depending on how fast you're driving, I suppose. And it's actually 43 feet, which is pretty close to this guy right here, which is 12 meters, so pretty close. And it's actually a bit cheaper as well. The Converland is 9 meters, but it's 42, so we get an extra 3 meters with that. So we could get into something like that. We could theoretically get this as well, which is only 6.3. Actually, no, we couldn't technically. We could get into some bigger seeders, so we'd be able to use one of these seeders, for example, which has a 15 meter width. Actually, no, we couldn't. No, we couldn't. Whoa, I'm getting a little out of hand here. 270 horsepower is not 196, so we couldn't get into that. Oh man, and this, it doesn't say how much horsepower you need, but I'm pretty sure 200 is not quite enough for this. Probably need closer to 300, I imagine, for something along that rig. So we could get a bigger seeder. So this seeder, no. This seeder, no. Apparently we need an even more powerful tractor than we already have, but it will allow us to get into some bigger items as well. So that's what we're looking at, basically. Do we have anything else? We could get into some bigger. We could get into some slurry tanks eventually as well. This is the one I like. I really like. Really enjoyed using that last season, and it's a really nice model. So, but I don't think 200 horsepower is nearly enough for that one. Zune hammer. We could theoretically get into that as well. And is there anything else? I don't think so. No, I think that was it. I did pick up another mod. This is part of a bale pack for the class Quadrant 1200. It does 120 by 70 centimeters, which I think is the same. Oh no, not as big as the Heston bales here. So close, but not that close. I picked up this a while back and I tried it out, and I tried making a bale with this guy and wrapping it with one of the other mods I have, and it did work. So just wanted to test that out. All right, so we're gonna try and sell a couple of these bales. Let's use the Ford, I think, actually. Do we have anything we can sell? No. I did find out where the eggs are sold. It's actually the southwest part of the map. After last time, I got annoyed and looked around for... But I looked around for where we actually have to sell the eggs, and eventually I found it, so I was happy with that. And I took a little trip down there and sold it. It's actually down in here is where you sell the eggs, I discovered. Which is good, because now I know where to do it. And there's also another sell point over there. Lock bale. There we go. So... Oh, shouldn't have turned that quickly. Darn, hate when I don't do that. Alright, so because we're planting soybeans, we're not going to get any straw from soybeans. So that's something to take into consideration. Can we just drop this? Oh, it does do that. Sweet. So we need to take that into consideration because we don't want to we don't want to sell too many of these bales because we're going to need some eventually. Well, we're going to need some again. But we do have quite a few lined up here already, so I'm not too worried about it. But I'm going to clean up this mess. So I think I'm going to sell the number of bales it takes to clean up that little mess I made right there. So that's what I figure I'm going to do. So because we're going to get some hay, finally, that will allow us to feed our cows some grass, feed our pigs some. I think it turns out to be silage for the pigs when you feed them grass. So we'll be able to do that as well, and then increase their efficiency a little bit more. Whoops. Unlock. Oh, it doesn't want to lock that bale. That's weird. Interesting. Gotta hate it when it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Lock the bale. There we go. I wonder why it doesn't want to work. Oh well. Alright, so let's get this. Let's sell maybe one or two more. And I think that guy's done work, and I don't know why I got him to return, but he did. Oh, he's going to do a headland. I think that's what he's going to do now. Yeah. Alright, so we have 64,800. So let's sell two more bales, I think. Because I believe each straw bale is worth $172. So, I didn't want to sell them all, or else I would have used the Kenworth truck to... Oh, that's weird. To sell them, but I only wanted to sell a few of them just so we can get a little bit more money. I didn't want to sell them all. Alright. So I'm going to sell this one and probably one more. Like so. And, now that I'm thinking about it, because 200 horsepower, I thought we'd be able to do more with 200 horsepower, but I realized we don't have... the biggest bonus would really be getting a bigger cultivator and a bigger seeder, but for a bigger seeder, we're going to need a lot more horsepower, basically. We're going to need something in the 200 and probably more to 300 plus area. That's what I'm thinking. Just because the seeders that we're going to aim towards are going to need to be, you know, 9, 10, 11, 12 meters, basically, so. But getting... And that would be the same thing, basically, for any kind of... It'd be the same thing for any kind of cultivation, actually, now that I think about it. Almost anything. That John Deere that I just showed you does say it only requires 180, so that is a possibility, and it does do a 12 meters wide, so that's a nice size, which is nice. So if we get into corn, or if we get into sugar beets or potatoes, it will allow us to cultivate the field nice and quick with a big old cultivator. Alright, so let's go give our... That should be enough. So we're at 65.2. And let's go let's go give our pigs this straw here. Because we're going to try and... Once we actually get this set up properly, we're going to do some... Once he's finished, basically, we're going to do a little bit of baling as well. And then we will have some bales for our pigs. There we go. So we're at 5 days worth. Oh, apparently that's not quite enough. Interesting. I don't want to give the other pigs stuff too, because I only want to deal with one barn at the moment. So we're just going to keep that like so for the time being. Eventually we're going to have to deal with that manure there too. We do have a trailer that does work with manure. So we could theoretically use that, but it only holds 1,500 or 15,000 liters, so something to think about. Alright. So apparently our pigs are fine for straw for the time being. Oh, this tractor. I really need to turn this down. When I back up this tractor, when I'm using it just as a front loader, it's nice to have it really snappy and zippy going around everywhere, but when you're using it to back something up, it's not quite as much fun. Alright, let's go hop into our Massey Ferguson over here. I believe it needs to be refueled as well. And theoretically we could sell some of these bales as well. Let's turn that off. Oh, I should have put it into field position. One of the reason why I probably didn't have it in field position is because with course blade it acts a little funny when you don't have it just trailed behind you a little bit. But it really should have been in field position. I am going to put this where? Don't want to leave it outside. That would be bad for it. So let's park it in this shed over here. Oh yeah, we got lots of space. Let's just drive straight in there. And then we will back it up right in the corner over here. And then we're going to go refuel our Massey Ferguson, and then we're going to pick up the baler. Perfect. Because the baler and the fuel are in the same spot anyway, so we can theoretically buy our new tractor, the new Holland, but I'm just having second thoughts about it because, well, here's the reason why I'm having second thoughts. It's mainly to do with the horsepower issues, because I think we're going to need a more powerful tractor, basically. More powerful than... so let's just refuel this. Or, let me think about this, actually. Where are we here? Let's take a quick peek once again at tractors. So, if we sell this in the $80,000 range, what do we have available to us? So I picked up this one. Well, I haven't checked this one out yet, but I picked up that tractor. $80,000. What would that bring us? Not very much. Because we want something... No, these aren't going to be powerful enough. This is the most powerful tractor at the lowest price, which we could get. I've actually tried these ones out, and I don't like them. And the reason being is because they do this really weird thing where they The front part of the tractor and the rear part of the tractor, they actually like twist and it looks really strange. I don't know why it does it, but it does that. $80,000 isn't going to give us a whole lot, basically. That's unfortunate. Because if we sell this tractor, we're going to get at least 22. So that'll put us up to 80. And I can't sell. We could get this. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it right now. I think I might wait on that. It's a tough call. Because we're going to need, basically we're going to need a tractor that's big enough to, a tractor that's strong enough or has enough horsepower in order to, we could get that actually, which is 5.7 meters, and it would allow us to get rid of that, those compaction issues that we're having in the lower levels of our soil. But this, because what do we have right now? We have a 3.3 meter, I think it is. 3.5 meters. And that would be, what is it, 5.7 meter? Yeah. So, yeah, let's do that. So I'm not going to refuel this tractor. I'm actually going to sell it. Because once I get the New Holland, I'm not going to need this tractor. Base is what it boils down to. Because if I sell this tractor, this is the tractor I need for the baling. But the New Holland will be able to do that. The New Holland will be able to seed with this. Yeah, basically be able to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and just take a little trip over to the shop, and we'll sell this disc cultivator. Or should we? No, we're gonna sell it. We need to change up our tillage for the season, so we're gonna try and go over to a bit more heavy tillage this season, and then maybe we'll go to something that's not quite as heavy on our soil. This is discs, and it goes, like in this particular case, these discs probably only go about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 inches down, and the heavy tillage we're gonna go into, we'll be able to get maybe 10 inches down, which is probably, or 10 to 12 inches maybe, which is the area we're trying to hit, so we can break that soil up a little bit to let some of that, the water run through. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And it saves us having to refuel this tractor as well. It'll leave us with a little bit more cash on the side. I do like this tractor, and that I've played with it a little bit more. But the New Holland's nicer, so I don't mind giving it up for that one. And it has in-cab sound in the New Holland, which I like. There we go. It's funny, with the indicators on this particular tractor, they don't turn off once you turn, I noticed. Alright. Let's just sell that. Yes, we got 27. And we got, wow, we got 5,000 for that. Didn't expect that. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this. It's 5.7 meters, 170 horsepower. Is there anything that's bigger? This is a 10 meter disc, but I don't know how much horsepower, and I'm pretty sure what we're getting into is not nearly enough. No, this doesn't say what the actual horsepower you need, but I'm pretty sure it's more than we have. This definitely we don't. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, that seems like it's the best choice. There's this, which I don't know how wide it is. And this, which is 6.3, but you require at least, well, it's way more expensive, so let's not worry about that. Alright, let's go for the Bomb Fort Superflow, 5.7 meter, heavy cultivation, 170 horsepower you need. Perfect, let's buy that. And let's pick up the tractor before I get too carried away, before I start buying other things. So we could get this, but that's 175 horsepower. Nope. That's 230,000, not in the budget. Yeah, I think that's the best choice, because even this is 55,000. That's only 115, so it's not worth it at all. I think our next big purchase is probably going to be the John Deere 9630. I think. Just because, like I said, these ones do that weird twisting thing I don't like. I don't know why they do it either. Yeah, let's do that. Here, there we go. New Holland right here. So this is 196 horsepower, New Holland T7 550. Let's buy that. So we still have 26,000. Oh, that's good. What can we do with 26,000? Don't need a front loader. Not even close for a harvester. Could we buy a new tipper? Yes, but do we need one? No. Nope, not helpful. Oh, but we are going to need a... Oh, it's something to take into consideration. We're eventually going to need something for our pigs, but they're not on great demand yet. Do we have any great demands coming up? Oops. Canola's on great demand. That's not helpful for us. Potatoes are coming up. That's not helpful. Yeah, so nothing yet. Okay, that's fine. So this is the Bumfort, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Superflow, 5.7 meters, nice size. It's got wheels there. I guess you can actually put those wheels down. And this is, well, I should probably get out of it first. This is the New Holland T7 550. Got front linkage on it, which is nice. Which is good. Nice looking tractor on the outside. I believe, does it say who did this tractor? Let's just double check here. I'm pretty sure. Does it say who did it? No, it just says who did the tires for some reason. I believe these people who did the modders who did this tractor are the same ones who did the New Holland, if memory serves. Let's just check. Does it say anything here? No. It looks similar, so I'm just guessing. Alright, so let's fire this up. So inside, nice looking on the inside, really nice looking interior. Got a sunroof, has a little bit of in-cab stuff, leftmost. So the doors, I think that's it though. I think we can, yeah, we can open up the back window too. That window and the door. Other than that, nice sounding here. It's got in-cab sound, which is nice. The pedals do work, which is cool. Let's just line that up a bit better. And we're going to test this out to see... yes. Let's pick up a front weight. I wasn't sure if we're going to need a front weight. But to be on the safe side, let's do that. So we can pick up the class for 1,000. I just like the way this weight looks, so I think I'm going to just pick up that one. Yeah. It's only 1,000. These ones down here, front concrete rate 600 kilograms. This is 1,000 kilograms. Yeah, let's just go with this. Or it doesn't say how many it is, but let's pick that up. Because I believe with this heavy cultivation, having the... Ooh, that was terrible. Having the weight in the front is going to be helpful. There we go. Oh yeah. This is because it's such heavy cultivation, you can definitely see it. There we go. That's better. This is a nice. This is actually the weight that comes with the. I think it's the Class Arion, but I really like the way it looks. It looks pretty cool. There we go. So let's take this back to the farm. Oh wow. The tractor just wobbles all over the place with this. Just put my beacons on here. Don't want people to think I'm crazy. Well, they probably would if I was driving this on the streets. In reality, you wouldn't do that. You would probably put it on a trailer and take it home, or have the guys deliver it. But in this case, there's no traffic, so we're okay. Alright, so we've got a bigger tractor. This is good. Let's go do some baling. That was a bit of a side tangent there. And this tractor is more than powerful enough to do baling. Like I said last time, that particular baler only needs 100 horsepower, and now we have 200 essentially. Which could mean we get into a bigger baler actually. Some of the big square balers, which are 90 grand though, so. And then we can wrap those big balers with the McHale baler wrapper, which is a nice wrapper. so let's put this in the shed and then grab the baler. Oh, I love how these things have in-cab sound. Also, the speedometer works in this, which is kind of cool. And the tachometer, in-cab sound, can't go wrong there. Alright. And it also has this view where if you look behind you, it kind of like looks out. And, oops, there we go. Has a view where if you look out of the back of the tractor, it kind of like leans over the seat, so you can see what you're doing, which is a really cool feature. Does that make a difference? Yes, it does a little bit, actually. Alright, let's pick this up. We need to make sure to raise this up. Oh, it looks like it's already raised. Good. Attach the PTO. I love how that does that. Alright, so let's go bale us some hay. Let's just check to make sure we don't need any coverage in here, because I'd hate to run out. No, we should be okay. So let's go bale some hay. And this weight, I don't know why, it has this weird feature where it'll add an extra weight on the back, or on the front of it, if you click. It's like a left mouse click if you're on the, so here, it does this. If you left mouse click when you have the weight highlighted, it's really strange. I don't know why it does it. I noticed it once and I was trying to figure out, I'm like, I don't remember buying that. Why is it doing that? And I actually had to figure out what was the reason for it, so it's kind of funny. Now we could have bought a wrapper. Shoot. Some people were asking if I could do some wrap some bales, and I definitely can. Alright, let's lower the pickup here and raise the weight because I turn it on. There we go. And I don't know what this is going to be like with hay, but let's find out. I actually have to stay outside of the cab to make sure I can see the gauge itself in the top right hand corner there. If I don't know if it's going to get clogged or not. So it looks like it's okay at this speed. So on this particular kind of windrow, which is basically just some of the stuff that our Courseplay fellow dropped over here. So we're just picking it up to clean it up at the very least. Technically, we could use the Courseplay again to bale this, but we're going to do a little bit of baling ourselves. Oh yeah, more than fine. Don't know how many bales we're going to get from this. Probably not that many. So far we've done 212 bales of straw with this particular baler. So. Oh wow, I did not see that. That is awesome. Check this out. It actually, if you look right here, this is not from this tractor. This is from the baler. That is super cool. That's the first time I've noticed that before. Wow, that's super cool. Don't know why I didn't notice that in the Massey Ferguson. Alright, let's close it up. It actually shows too. Wow, that's awesome. Never noticed that about that baler. Alright, let's put the rear lights on there. Nope, that's probably not the rear lights. There we go. It's getting a bit dark out there. We want to be able to see what we're doing. Don't want to work too late, but we're going to try and finish baling this hay up before it gets too late. And it actually shows there, apparently, if it's getting clogged, it looks like. So let's turn down this. That's pretty cool. I didn't notice it did that before. So apparently we can go even faster than this, but because I guess the way it works is it shows it's clogged. So 213 is the number of bales it's done. So it actually shows in that little screen there. And so technically, if I were to drop this baler, this John Deere screen would go away. That's pretty cool. Extend, retract. It'd be even cooler if you could actually just adjust it right from here. So if you use the in-cab control and then did like touch, you could show like plus or minus and do all that kind of stuff. That would be super cool, but unfortunately it's not the case. So let's pick up this little bit here. As you can see, it monitors how much we're picking up. So right there it was a little bit heavy on the baler, so starting to bog down a little bit. Oh, my driving skills are terrible. Starting to bog down, so right here it's starting to bog down a little bit, but not as much. So that's super cool. I don't think we're getting many bales from this though. Doesn't seem like it, at least. Let's just go in here. How does that look? Oh, that's fine. We'll probably go a little bit faster, but this is pretty fast already, so pretty fast for a bale. I don't know. I'm not sure what speed you would normally bale at, but I think it's like in first or second gear normally, which isn't very fast. So it really depends on how thick the hay is, basically. So if it's really thick, then you could get away with, oh my goodness, that's annoying. You can get away with doing going a bit faster if it's kind of thin hay, or not thin, but not very heavy. And then if it were, you know, thicker hay, then obviously you could get away with going a bit faster. Alright. Shows it opening it up. The bale's out. As you can see right up there, that's when it shows the bale's out. And that's closing. And that's ready to go. That's so cool. I never noticed that before. This is totally me geeking out, realizing you can actually do has that. I'd never realized it shows the monitor. It shows the monitor when the baler's just sitting there, but I didn't realize it until just now for some reason. Because I guess the Massey Ferguson didn't work with it, or I just didn't notice it, or I wasn't inside enough. I don't know. Any number of reasons really is what it boils down to. Yeah. So far we've only gotten 2 bales, so I imagine we're not going to get a whole lot out of this, unfortunately, so that might create a bit of a problem. Not too big of a problem. So what I can do actually is no, I guess I really can't at this point, because I can't give our pigs any more straw, so there's really no point. Actually, I guess it would, if I were to put one of these hay bales in the mixer, it would probably come up as silage, I imagine, again, so that wouldn't be too bad. That's super cool. So yeah, I guess as it gets higher up, I guess, I'm not sure how this monitor works in terms of this, but this is just, I guess if I were to go further up here, I guess it was getting more clogged. So right now there's a little bit of a spike there, so it coincides with this up here. That's what it seems like, at least. That's super cool. Unfortunately, I can't drive and look at the same time, so if I were to have course play on, then it would be fine, but obviously I can't do both at the same time. So, alas. Yeah, we're not going to get very many from this. On, off. I don't know what half those buttons do. It'd be cool if we could actually see, if I told you a bit more about them, but oh my goodness. It's going to takes quite a long time to apparently get a big enough bale or enough material in this baler. I guess they are pretty big bales though, so that's probably part of it. So, alright, 92%. Are we going to fill up at the end of this row? I'm guessing no. So, oh, 97? No. Alright, so let's take a nice wide turn here, come down this row right here. Perfect. That's super cool that it shows that. And apparently I was in the... Apparently, for whatever reason, I was in the passenger seat there. Alright, she's ready to go. Excellent. Cool. This baler is growing on me more and more every single time I use it. And I imagine it would show if the cover edge was out, if it needed more cover edge in here or not, so That's another thing to consider as well. Yep, that little... This coincides with how much is out here, basically. Better pay attention to where I'm driving here. Jeez. Alright. So you guys asked for some baling, so here's some hay baling this time instead of straw baling. So this is probably one of the few times I'll do it myself. Then eventually what I'll do is I will get it. I'll set it up a bit more so it works with course play. But I'll show you the first time around. Most of what I've said already about this, you guys know already. You know, as opposed like talking about hay and whatnot. So it's one of the things to note. Also, it's funny when you're driving in real life, you're probably not going to take corners this quickly. So 25 kilometers in a tractor's pretty quick, I imagine. So I think I've done 20. I think I've done that quick. One time when we had to store the hay equipment away at the end of the season, we were driving along the road there, and my father-in-law was like, "Keep it at what I thought he said, or what I thought he said. Keep it at 1500 RPM." In reality, what he meant was, or what he actually said was, keep it above 1500, not at 1500. Because we're driving on the road, he's like, you can put it in 8th gear and go a bit faster than 1500. So I kept trying to figure out why he was getting so far ahead of me, but I was like, I better keep in the gear and keep the RPMs at where he said to. But it turned out to be keep it above that, not at that. So it was kind of a funny situation after the fact, because I was trying to figure out, I'm like, how the heck did he get so far ahead of me? I thought he was going the same speed as me, but he wasn't. He had it a bit higher RPMs than I did. Then we ended up talking about it after, and he was like, yeah, I meant keep it above 1500, not at 1500. So it was pretty funny. But oh my goodness, that beeping's annoying. There we go, perfect. Let's back this up here. Unloading the bale. Bale's out. Let's close it. I guess it's down there. Let's close it. Now it's ready to go. That's super cool. I like that feature quite a bit. Alright, so I think I'm going to stop the baling there gonna stop baling for the time being. It's getting a little late, and let's check the weather tomorrow, because they don't leave. Ooh, that's not good. Because today it's sunny, tomorrow it's cloudy. So what we'll do is I'll stop there for the evening. Mrs. telling me dinner's ready on the table, so I'll stop there for the time being, and I'll come back tomorrow, finish off the rest of the baling, and then I'll collect those hay bales and take them to the cover all over there, and we'll store them. And what I'll do is I'll come back when the soybeans are ready to be harvested. So we got 25 grand now, which is a nice little sum of money. We could theoretically get a wrapper with that. I think it would wrap these. Don't know why it wouldn't, but I'll be able to wrap them, I imagine. The one thing I'm not sure about in this game, like I know what it does in real life, but I'm not sure if you wrap these bales up, what it actually does to the bales. If it actually does something to them. That's weird. What the heck is that? Huh. I'm not sure if it turns them into silage like it does in real life or not, but I'll have to find out, I suppose. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll stop it there. My name's Ian Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2013, and for a little bit of extra information, this is the first time recording on one of the new hard drives I got, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, catch you guys later.